Hi everyone, delonewolf here, and welcome back to some EVE Online. In today's video I'm going to show you guys a phase catalyst node. It's one of the combat anomalies in a C1 wormhole. I don't think I've shown this one solo yet, and the reason I'm making the video is because it's a little bit different and it can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing here. I'm also doing it alone. It is Christmas, the holidays are going in full force, so obviously there's a little bit less activity in the corporation at the moment, so I have to go and do this alone. One of the problems you get here, especially for my current feat, is that one of the sentries really starts out too far for my guards, and so that's a real problem. Where I actually need to move my Dominics first so that all of them are in range before I start deploying stuff, and then I need to drop to like below 50, so that should be right here. I'll get the guards out, and yeah, that's one of the problems. Honestly, one of those serious batteries is actually just too far. My guards can't shoot it if I try from the warp-in, and so a little bit of movement is required here at first. 4 of these serious towers, that's actually a lot of damage, so that's yeah, that's those towers. You want to take care of those first, but they're also the trigger. So here we go. I'm going to shoot down this first Sirius, and then just... Oh, actually, that was not a trigger. Interesting. Last time I did it, this is when 3 mediums popped up. Let me see if it's maybe another battery. So if it's a single battery, then it's actually a little bit better than what I thought. So let's see if anything spawns after this one. What do we have? Yeah, there we go. 3 mediums spawning in here. And so if you're unlucky and you take the wrong Sirius, after destroying the first one, you could already trigger a second wave. And so that could, of course, surprise you a little bit, you know, just destroying one target, getting the second wave. As you can see, I'm repping continuously. It is a good amount of damage, and I'm going to start by taking care of these serious batteries here first, just to get them out of the way. Yeah, I moved in close enough, so that's pretty good, and I can actually burst the rip, of course, on the Dominics. But the second trigger is actually the awakened escort, and so I actually did one of these solo like a few days ago. And I had the bad luck of taking the trigger Sirius first. After that I was like, well, not really sure what's the best move for me at that point, and I decided on the awakened escort, like I'm doing right here. And so I destroyed 1 Sirius battery. We had the 3 extra mediums, 3 Sirius batteries, and the 2 frigates frigate class sleepers shooting on me. I went after the awakened escort, and normally that one is the next trigger as well. Let's have a quick look right here. Boom, and there we go. That's another 9 medium drones coming in all of a sudden. So that was like, oh my god, this was a little bit overwhelming. We had all of this and 3 serious batteries. So if you take the wrong triggers when it comes to this stuff, and I'm actually going to switch just like I did then, because the amount of DPS that all of these small sleeper drones do is actually pretty high. So I am going to try to take care of these first here. Let's go. I use Ogre 2s with the target painter. It's actually pretty okay. So here we go. You are next. Boom. And then yeah, we can just keep targeting these small drones. But as you can see, their damage is quite substantial. It's a large amount of them as well. And be very careful in this catalyst node if you do this alone. Be aware of the triggers, because if you, like I said and like I did, if you grab the wrong Sirius battery first and then you decide on the patroller, you'll get a lot of sleepers on you all of a sudden. And I'm actually pretty sure that something like a heavy assault cruiser is gonna be in real problem at that point. Maybe even a battle cruiser, you know, if you can't really take care of these small sleepers quickly enough. This is really going to tax you, and in fact, as you can see right here, it's already starting to tax my capacitor here as well. Luckily, my Ogre 2s, they do shots of like 200 on the armor of the small sleepers, so they're gonna be able to take care of this no problem. But it's a lot. This phased catalyst node, it's actually a decently challenging site for a C1 wormhole. As you can see, it's obviously pushing my Dominix quite a bit further than in any other combat anomaly in a C1. Yeah, if you take the wrong triggers and you're in a smaller ship than this, you could actually be in real trouble. So I just thought I'd quickly mention this because it's not something that drops very often, honestly. I'd say we see one maybe once a week. The other combat sites are far more common, spawning almost every day in the wormhole. But this phase catalyst node doesn't spawn that often. It's a lot more wrecks, so you get a lot more chances at some nano ribbons. But it's also a bit more challenging than the other ones. So I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Obviously the Dominix can handle it no problem. I mean, just make it cap stable and you've got so many hit points that it's not really going to be an issue. But yeah, it's a lot of drones, it's a lot of DPS coming all of a sudden. There is some looting there as well, so you gotta be somewhat careful in the phase catalyst node. The advantage, I would say, there is actually an advantage to having this, is that if you're confident you can handle it, like I'm decently confident I can handle it in the Dominix no problem, you can actually finish the sites very quickly, because you don't have to kill all the other sleepers before going after the triggers. You can basically kill 2 targets, have everything on the field, kill everything, be done with it, do your looting, and maybe choose not to start moving away from your mobile tractor unit could be a good idea as well. But it's a site, if you know exactly what you're doing and you've got a ship that can handle it, it's a site that you can do in under 10 minutes pretty easily. It's the most loot you'll find in a C1 combat anomaly. But it is a little bit more tricky. If you do this solo and you're not prepared, I do feel that the final spawn coming in with a few batteries left, that's really going to test any hack and maybe even battlecruiser pilot to try and survive that, because it's quite a lot. So here we go, I'm actually killing the final awakened patroller. I didn't do this fully optimally either, I think. I could definitely improve on that. You know, I could get stuff on field more quickly by going off the patroller before all of the serious batteries and stuff like that, but you could see my cap was actually pretty damn low as well. So 7 minutes 45 seconds to do this site, which is not bad, you know. I do think that this is decently efficient. In the meantime, as you can see, because of all of the small sleepers that I did at the end, the mobile tractor unit is already up to the last wreck, so it's pretty efficient loot wise as well. All that there's left to do now is to salvage and grab the loot. In the meantime, the site does despawn, so I'm pretty safe after 7.5 minutes, because they will need combat scanner probes to find me at this point. But it's probably the most challenging combat anomaly in a C1 wormhole, and that's why I quickly wanted to show it to you guys. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll collect my loot and I'll see you all next time.